Good morning, dear students. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and the subject today we are studying is Pure Maths 1. And in this, we are actually in this video, we are solving the solution. We are solving the course book of the Pure Maths 1. Today, we are working on the exercise 2A. The chapter 2 is about functions, and this is our first episode on this exercise. Let me show you the question. Here we go. The question number 1 is showing up. Which of these graphs represents functions? If the graph represents a function, state whether it's a one function or many one function. Okay, in the A part, the expression which they have given us is y equals to 2x minus 3. So what we will do, we will draw its graph. Very simple. If you have your calculator with you, you can go to the mod, and here on the 7th number you have tables. So I will select tables. Here he asked me to write the function, so that is 2. Okay, and then this pink button and x, and then you have minus 3 and equals to, he says that I want to start the table from where. So let's say I say start from minus 10. Okay, and then I press equals to. Okay, and then he say where should I end. I say end at 10. Okay, and how much should be the step. That should be 1. So you see here he gives me the table. Okay, so he gives me the table and I will plot these points, and okay, so I will be able the values of x and y. This is how you are supposed to draw these graphs. Okay, so because this is a straight line graph, so it's not a big deal. So you see, let me check. At 0 the value is minus 3. At the 0 the value is minus 3, which is here, and at 1 the value is minus 1. Okay, so this value. At 2 the value is 1. At 2 the value is 1, and let's say at 3, because it's a straight line, the value is 3, and at 4 the value is 5. So that's enough, because it's a straight line, so it's not a big problem. So what we will do, we will join them. We can join them with the straight line, and so this is your graph. Okay, now their question is whether this is a function and one-to-one function or not. If you have drawn the graph, then what you do, you do this vertical test. You put your scale like this. If this touch your graph once, if it touch your graph once, it's a function, and it's a one-to-one function. Okay, you can see wherever I put my vertical scale, it touched the graph only once. So that means this is a function. Yes, this is a function. Okay, and this is a one function. So I hope that you understand that how the question number 1 is A part is decided, that this is a function and this is a one function. Why this is a one function? Because every x value has a unique y value, so it's a one function. So now, my dear students, the question number 1, its B part is we are going to solve, and the question number 1, its B part is that the y is equals to x square minus 3, and the x belongs from the real numbers, and okay, so we have to decide this is one function, or if it's a function or many one function. Okay, so very simple. What I will do, I will take my calculator. Okay, and let me show you how this is done. And you see, when I press mod, so when I press mod, so my calculator shows this. So on the number 7, the tables are showing. Okay, so I press 7th. Okay, he says write the function. The function is x square minus 3. So with this pink button I will write x is here. Okay, then square. Okay, then minus 3 equals to. Okay, he says start from where. So suppose I say start from minus 5, and he says then he will ask you for and at where I say positive 5. Okay, and then how much step, one step. Okay, and here comes the table. Okay, so you have the table here, and so the values are out of this graph, so that's not our that's not a big issue. Okay, so for example, at minus 5 the value will be 22, at minus 4 the value will be 13, at minus 3 the value will be 6. Okay, so I can plot this. At minus 3 the value is 6. At 1 2 3, this is minus 3, the value is 6. Okay, at minus 2 the value is 1. Value is 1. Okay, at minus 1 the value is minus 2. Okay, and at 0 the value is minus, at the 0 the value is minus 3. Okay, at 1 the value is minus 2. At the 2 the value is 1 here, and at 3 the value is 6. Okay, and at 4 the value is 13, which will be out of this graph. We don't need that. Okay, so these points are enough to plot this graph. So what I will do, I will try to make the smooth curve. Okay, so let's try, because I am standing in a weird posture, so it's a little bit difficult for me, but let's do this. Okay, so from here I will draw the graph. Okay, so you should draw the graph with the pencil, but for the video's sake I'm drawing the graph with a marker. So this is the graph. Now we will do the vertical test, and in the vertical test what we do, we take our scale and we put the scale like this. It should touch the graph once. Okay, wherever I put the scale, it touched the graph only once. So this is the function, and every so this is it's a function. Okay, it's a function. Okay, then we have to decide that whether this is a one-to-one function or many-to-one. So we call it many one function. Okay, so what you will do, you will put your graph like scale like this. Okay, so you see, when you put your scale horizontally, so it touched the graph at two places. So it's a function and it's many one function. So that means that the same x value will have different same y value will have different x values. So it's a function and it's many one function. Many one function. Okay, so this is how you will decide whether it's a function. For function we use this vertical test. Okay, and for one to one or many to one we use this test, because it cuts the graph on two places, so it's a many one function. So this is how you will do the question number 1 and its B part. This is exercise 2A from the course book of the Pure Maths 1, and this is our first episode on this. My name is Ferhan Mazher. So my dear students, now we are on the question number 1 and its C part. Let me show you the question. Question number 1 and its C part. He says y is equals to 2x cubed minus 1 for x belongs to real numbers, and I mean the rational numbers. Sorry, I said real numbers. And you see, the real numbers are different. Rational number. This R means the rational numbers. we have to decide whether this is a function or it's not a function. So I will use my calculator. So I have set my calculator. You see, if I press this button, then it shows me these options. So I go into the table, which is on the number 7. So he says write that function. So that function is 2. With this pink button I will write x, and it's cube. Where is the cube? Where is the cube? In the shift we have this cube. So you have 2x cube, then you have minus 1. So I wrote this, and he says start from where. So let's say I ask him to start from -5, and he says ends at where. I said